Hola everybody. Let's talk about dangers in freediving. Is freediving dangerous? What do you think? I wanna develop this subject with you in the next minutes, okay? First of all, I wanna say that freediving is more than a simple sport. It's a world discipline, it's a lifestyle, and it has different levels, different styles, different uses as well. Then the dangers in freediving will depend of what kind of freediving you are doing, where, and what is your level. Okay, then let's develop these ideas. Okay, the simple answer is just depend. Depend of where are you practicing freediving. If you are practicing in a swimming pool, it's lower risk. If you are practicing in a cave with limitation on the roof, if you are practicing a frozen lake, if you are practicing a tropical Caribbean beautiful water, or if you are practicing the North Seas, then this factor affect the level of danger. As well, what is your level? Are you beginner doing like snorkeling and your first step into freediving, or are you a competitive freediver looking for world records? As well, other important factor is how is the factors around? How are the factors around you? Are you practicing freediving with wavy conditions, with rough seas, with currents? Are you practicing freediving in a lake that is totally still water? Then all of these affect the risk in freediving. Then now let's start to analyze this risk in a more specific way. I wanna simplify the analysis and say, okay, we have internal risk that come from us and our practice, and we have external risk that come from the environment or the terrain, the place in the ocean where we are practicing. Okay, let's start for the internal risks. Let's start for the most common and simple risk you can have practicing freediving from the internal point of view. There are your ears. Ear barotrauma is when you push the equalization in a level that you are not ready in that moment, okay? Maybe you go too deep and your ears didn't help you, or you are a little bit sick and you are pushing the equalization, okay? Then I think in my experience, this is one of the most common risks we have. All level freedivers suffer from this, and it can be finished with a simple pain, or it can finish with an injury that sometimes can last years or forever. Then the way to avoid this risk about the ER barotrauma is just practice the right technique. Is knowledge, okay? Have the knowledge and the practice to control the technique. Never force your ears when your ears are not equalizing in that moment or during a period of time. If it's necessary, go to a doctor to treat the problem. Keep practicing the right technique, the right exercise to improve your equalization performance. Other possible internal risk is the long barotrauma or long squeeze. At this point, we are talking about more advanced freediving level, okay? This is freedivers going beyond the 20, 25, 30 meters depth. This risk can be avoided as well with proper technique, experience, and proper gradual progression in the depth. Then if you allow your body, your lungs to adapt and your muscles to adapt to the new pressures, you will reduce the risk of long barotrauma. As well, practice the right warm-up, dry warm-up and into the water warm-up is fundamental, and keep super relaxed on the depth. This is the best way to avoid the long barotrauma risk. That kind of situations happen when you push your limits beyond your level in that moment, or because external conditions make you spend more energy underwater. Then the important factor here is first to have a good body with you that know what to do and is ready, and to have communication with this body. Because if you are in coordination and you have communication and your body know what are you doing, then it's easier for this person to help you in the right moment. Okay, this with that help or support that is in freediving is obvious and is fundamental. It reduces the risk a lot on freediving practice. As well, from the freediver point of view, when you train, you should train gradually and not always pushing limits. You need to train as well to get comfortable with your technique and with your depths where you are managing. And when you are ready to take the next step, is because you already control this level that you have in that moment. One of the reasons of blackout and lost motor control are freedivers that every time they go to the water, they just want to push for new personal record. And this is not a good approach, okay? We need to give chance to your body and your physiology to adapt to this level of hypoxia and CO2 and all the adaptations we need. And there are a lot of myths about this. People think that the fauna is dangerous and is dangerous with humans, but most of the time it's the opposite. Then my advice to you is always to first have the knowledge. Where are you going to freedive? What kind of fauna can represent a problem if you act incorrectly? Let's say that you step over a scorpionfish, or you put your hand in a venomous animal underwater. Then you need to understand what kind of animals are on the rocks, on the reef. And then the general advice is never touch anything, okay? Just watch your step when you go in and go out of the beach is important. And as well, there are other kind of fauna like, for example, sharks, barracudas, and then with that animals, what you need to keep is respect, observe, enjoy, but you should not be afraid that they are going to chase you. In most of the cases, it's the opposite. Then, of course, there are places where the sharks can be a little bit more risky for you. Then the way to avoid this is just have the knowledge and have the proper guidance in the place, how to move in the water and how to avoid situations. But remember that they live in the ocean. We are visitors. Then we need to respect their space. This is the general idea about fauna. You are going to freedive in the open water, in the ocean or lakes, then you need to understand the place where you are going to practice. If this is your home freediving spot, it's easier. You already know, and always you need to be aware about the weather forecast. If the wind will change or the waves will be bigger, then avoid that kind of situations. Of course, it's obvious. But as well, if you are exploring new places, you need to contact local people, local divers or freedivers, to understand how is the logistic underwater about the currents. Can be undercurrent that bring you down, or current that push you far from the shore or from the beach where you start. Then you always need to calculate what you are going to do and have a kind of plan B in case that the current push you far from the beach, then you can't come back. Then that kind of situations sometimes can be dangerous. Then it's just plan it and have the knowledge to understand how to deal with that and how to be safe. And this is a lot about freediving. How to avoid risk is knowledge and practice. I want to mention the possible problems with decompression sickness or illness, okay? And then the way to reduce this risk is just respecting your interval on the surface. If you are freediving at certain level, and as well if you are competitive freediver doing big dives deeper than 60s or 55 meters, as well you should do only one big dive a day. And having always proper hydration and having ready oxygen around you when you are training at that level. This is more for spearfishers that do a lot of repetitive freediving or competitive freedivers. Let's talk about the boat traffic. In my opinion, this is one of the most common possible problems a freediver can have. One of the reasons is because freedivers are more exposed to boat traffic because we spend more time on the surface. Then we need to be more careful with this, having a proper buoy, proper visual help for the boat driver. You need to imagine a boat driver maybe distracting, talking and having freedivers around. Then you need to be visible. Then in my advice to you is have a snorkel with a clear color, at least on the top, and as well have a buoy around you. Still with this is not enough. Then you need to be always in communication with your partner. Then when you are down and your partner is getting ready as well, your partner need to take a look what is going on around the area, because sometimes the boat engine doesn't hear on the surface, and then when you have the boat is just near you, then you need to be buoy, but you need to be always careful. Then finally, is freediving dangerous? What do you think? In my opinion, I will give a conclusion to you about this. First, you need is knowledge with practice. If you practice what you understood in your manual or with your instructor, then you will have experience, and this is the best way to mitigate, to reduce the risk. Experience. Then is practice your skills. Okay, practice your skills. It means not only the performance, practice your safety skills. The other important advice for you, of course, is to have a good buddy that practice with you. Not just the first friend you find, hey, come with me to do freediving, and then you are practicing at 30 meters and the guy is just a snorkeler. It doesn't work like that way. Then find a good partner that practice with you, or become part of a freediving club or a community where you always have people that can share this beautiful passion with you. And finally, freediving is beautiful and is safe when you keep practicing in a regular basis. I know a lot of people that they are like weekend warriors. Then they stay all the week in the office, working the computer, and then they go one Saturday every 2 weeks to the ocean all the day, and they go to 30 meters, and the rest of the week they don't do any other activity, physical activity. Then my advice to you to be safe as well is to keep kind of minimal physical conditions. You can swim, you can go to the gym, you can do yoga, but you need to train your muscles and your cardiovascular system to be in the ocean and feel strong and feel happy and feel safe.